Good afternoon. It's Lindsay. It is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. And I just wanted to make a video basically for my own notes about what's happened to me in the past couple of days. I have to do this for my own, documentation, I guess, being that I'm a targeted person. And if I don't, this is probably just for my own, don't think I'll put this on YouTube. But so whenever you've been involved with a narcissist and the relationship has ended and it's the continuous devaluation and discard phase of the situation, whatever this relationship, you'll find that, like, or at least with me, what they do is they continuously will hoover and call you acting like nothing's wrong, like acting like, not never acknowledging what they've done to you as far as the humiliations and the disrespect. They just play it off like nothing's wrong, right? Like, everything, they completely ignore the fact that what they've done to you, which is all intentional when they're trying to insult you and humiliate you. So so when they come back, as people know, what they do, it's just to get revenge and to get even and to punish you and try to humiliate you or shame you and things like this, and just further disrespect you, because it never gets any better. And I know, because I put this to the test a few times with various people, and it's the truth. Is like that whenever you've made them so mad by calling them out for who they are and being honest, they can't stand that. They can't, because their mask has already fallen off and you have revealed who they really are. And since they see themselves, narcissistic people or sociopaths, psychopaths see themselves as perfect, people who can do no wrong, or they see themselves as being perfect. And so whenever you cannot meet their grandiose expectations, they punish you and shame you and insult you and degrade you and humiliate you and disrespect you and do very subtle yet very obvious things to let you know that that they're angry and that you've done them wrong. And this is just how they maneuver in life from one person to the next. I think is that they carry on guilt and shame from other past relationships, and then they dump that onto you. You're their new dumping ground. You're their new dumpster, of which they're going to try to release all of that anger and hostility and shit onto you, because that's what happened to me. I can assure you that they've got a lot of built up resentment and anger that's unresolved, and a lot of it has to do with their own childhood or parental issues and parental abandonment issues, and feelings of being inadequate, feelings of what have you, that they are gonna, that their own toxicity that they project it onto others, and they carry that with them from one relationship or whatever to the next, assuming that it's gonna be your duty and responsibility to quote unquote fix them and heal them from these things of which they are suffering, I guess you could say, because they try to hide it. You'll notice it with these individuals, as they act a lot of times like everything's okay. They're very emotionless. They lack any real emotion. They kind of mimic other people and mimic sound. They're like master manipulators. They don't seem to have much of their own personality. At least they don't like to reveal that they do, because they are so concerned about their image, presenting a public image and whatnot, and their status and the way they look all the time, that they make sure that, you see a side of them that's completely different from what they're going to portray maybe at the workplace or whatever, you see them as being somebody different because for you, they're wearing a mask. It's like a front. It's like a scripted thing that they have. You'll feel after a time of being around these people that they may as well have just have memorized a script, because it gets so redundant, it gets so repetitive, it gets so mundane, and it's like a cycle that just keeps on repeating as long as their toy or whatever victim. I don't like to call them. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. But as long as it actually is it becomes kind of humorous, because you can always predict how their behavior is going to be. It's like, you reverse the psychology onto them and do this behavior prediction modification stuff, because that's what they're doing to you, thinking that you don't know what they're doing, but in fact you do. And so it's like you can yourself use the same tactics that they use on you, all this reverse psychology stuff, and throw it back at them, and it becomes like a game of a tennis match kind of, because that's what they do. They always want to make sure that if you discarded them, no, they have to come back to hoover you so that they can get revenge and then discard you, because they have to be the ones who are in control. With them, it's all about control of a person and control of a situation, usually control of a financial situation. It could be a job that you have. It could be anything, property, whatever that they're going to find about you that they want to control. Your body, your image. And notice that you have all the things that you've done, all the work that you put into something, they want to discredit you and act like you are entitled to them for what you have done. Like all your sweat, all your effort is completely disregarded by these people, because they never compliment you. You don't, you'll think that, gosh, you think that every once in a while they'd maybe give you a compliment, or every once in a while they'd say something nice to you that's genuine, but they don't. They don't. And if they do, it's really backhanded kind of compliments. They don't ever say, like, maybe every once in a while they'll say something like they'll compliment you on a blouse or a t-shirt or something, but they're such control freaks that if they're going to find every little thing about you that they don't like, and then they're going to rub that in your face and act like it's a big deal, because they just pick on people because they're projecting their own insecurities of other about themselves onto you. And you'll notice how horribly they talk about certain coworkers who they have. Like, for example, this man, who I suspect to be gay, or closeted gay or bisexual for sure, the way he is such a metrosexual behaving man. It's so obvious that he's got in the closet about that. It was blatantly obvious to me throughout the relationship, situation. Because they're not real relationships. It's all fake. It's fake. And they're exploiting you and using you. They're not genuine people. They are not genuine. I can assure you that with them, no, it's not genuine. But at least they're opportunists. They want something from you. And look out for that, because they do have an agenda usually. But anyway, like they'll start saying things like, this person worked at a department store, right? And was always acting like he's the best dressed and this, that, and the other. And, I make such and such amount of money in the shoe department, but I go to all the departments and but I make the most money in the shoe department, and I'm the best person. And he brags about himself all the time, like nonstop. You ask him one question, he just goes on and on and on about himself, and bragging about how many sales he has and how much money he's making, and then dragging down some other certain coworker who probably rejected him or whatever. And he's got other little fucking soap opera drama going on with these women at work, because he's surrounded by a bunch of women and faggots or gays, so it's all a bunch of drama at the fucking Saks Fifth Avenue, whatever, right? Supposedly where he works, which I suppose that's where he works. But it's like a big drama fest. It sounds like a big drama shit show that I'm so fucking glad that I can't imagine being in that kind of environment. I'd blow my brains out, because I can't stand that kind of shit. A bunch of people looking for fucking handbags and $2,000 pair of shoes or whatever, $1,000. Good, but you know what? I don't spend that kind of money on a fucking purse or a fucking pair of shoes. That's just me. I don't care if I'm a billionaire. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a fucking pair of shoes or a purse. It's not going to happen. Never. Never in my lifetime will that happen. I'd rather. I mean, hey, it's just not. It's not my style. It doesn't matter my style, but I'm just saying, like, to each his own. If women want to spend a bunch of money on a fucking designer handbag that you can buy a knockoff one for half the amount at the flea market or on eBay or whatever that might be fake, whatever, but it looks the same, I don't really care. I guess I'm just not the type of person, because I happen to be somebody who's not all familiar with all these designer brands and fancy, expensive stuff. I got picked on and teased and mocked because of that. He would make fun of me and rub it in my face that I don't have any style, that I don't have a sense of fashion, and that I'm an antiquated, poor, like making fun of my status, like I'm not good enough to be with him, okay? I was not good enough to be out in public with him. I was not good enough to be anywhere except maybe a fucking Pizza Hut or some goddamn McDonald's. But other than that, no. Don't take this girl out in public because she doesn't dress right. She's ugly. I was not good enough for him, obviously. And he made that real obvious that he was embarrassed to be with me. And so I was like, okay, fuck this. I can't believe that I've allowed this man into my house as many fucking times as he came into my goddamn house, took advantage of me, exploited me, and probably fucking recorded conversations behind my back. And who knows who he really works for. But I suspect that maybe he's involved with some kind of a porno or some kind of a human trafficking or some shit like that, some kind of weird drug dealing or crap, because it was so obvious. Every single time, half the time that he'd show up, the fucking women would come walking out trying to get his attention or trying to get me to react. These women who looked like streetwalkers or whatever, call girls, paid prostitutes or whatever, okay? It's one thing to be a call girl. There's a lot of women who do that. They're escorts, okay? Oh, big deal, okay? If you got it, but there's a difference between women who walk the fucking street, who are basically fucking streetwalkers, and there's a difference between those women who usually are all fucking drugged up, as well as like maybe women who work for a good escort company. There's a big difference, I think. So, and I would tell this guy, if you're such an addict to sex and attention and adulation, then why don't you go find a fucking prostitute or a hooker, or call a fucking escort agency, because I'm not your goddamn fucking toy, okay? And I'm real tired of you using me and exploiting me in that kind of way and making me feel like crap about myself because I don't look the right way, because I'm not a fucking supermodel or some goddamn fucking Jennifer Lopez celebrity. Because he has an obsession with celebrities and people who have money and status, but me, Miss Nobody, right? But he could use me and make fun of me and use me as his punching bag because he's so much better than me, because he has a job in a sales department and he makes money, but he doesn't really have anything to show for it, right? Or at least he doesn't show me. So I was getting real fucking tired of being lied to, being exploited, manipulated, dragged down, humiliated, insulted about my body, about what clothes I wear, the brand I wear, my every little fucking thing. He was obsessed about what fucking size clothing I wear. It was like, what the fuck are you? What the fuck? You're either a fucking closet faggot who's projecting all your fucking years of anger onto me, or I don't know what the fuck your deal is, but I'm done being your goddamn fucking doormat, dude. I have done enough shit for you. I have bent over backwards to try to fucking please you, and you're never fucking satisfied, so fuck you, That's what I'm thinking. What a fucking inconsiderate jackass, self-absorbed asshole. Because never once did he ever reciprocate. He never kissed, nothing. And I'm just saying, what a fucking selfish jerk. Because here I am giving with nothing, right? Giving myself, giving to this man, pleasing him, not a fucking thing did he ever try to do to even, not once. It's like, what kind of punishment is that to do to somebody? What the fuck is wrong with a man who does that? And clearly, It's weird. It's a form of whenever a person, when you're with somebody for that long and it's still you're only their friend, you know that they're screwing a lot of women. Obviously, you're never the only one, even though they say you are. And I was so fucking loyal to this fucking asshole for whatever reason, I don't know. I was devoted to trying to please him, and stupid me wasted a bunch of time, other opportunities, because there were plenty of other men I could have dated or been with, but no. I just wasted all my fucking energy and time on a fucking narcissistic asshole who was treating me like shit. Like a cheap fucking cheap shit asshole. And it was horrible. It got to the point where I was just like, I cannot believe what's wrong with me, and why am I allowing this man to fucking treat me like this? He's always comparing me to other women. I prefer Latinas, and just constant shit to drag me, constant crap. Like a complete fucking womanizing mujeriego faggot. Acts like a fucking faggot. And a lot of men, no offense, but a lot of gay men are fucking big time fucking assholes. I've known a lot of them, and they can be the biggest dickheads out there because of their fucking gay, because all their insecurities. They fucking hate women. And I have known my share of them, how mean they can be. And I'm not saying all of them, but my God, they can be really fucking mean. Okay, real mean. Especially think about one who's in the closet about his gayness or bisexuality. Really, you're dealing with the fucking monster then, okay? And so, of course, knowing that I knew this secret of his, he's angry. And so he's going to continue to try to get revenge by harassing me, showing up unannounced, even though I blocked him, keeps fucking bothering me, right? To the point where I said one time, dude, I'm going to call the police. Leave me alone. It's over. I don't want to see you again. It's, I have nothing to give you. I won't take no for an answer. I need you, baby. I need your touch. And then it got to the point where literally, I felt real trapped, like I was in danger. Some, what's going to happen if he doesn't get his way? What's going to happen if I was feeling like Stockholm syndrome kind of thing, where that means that whenever a person is like in a situation where you're so used to the abuse and you're so accustomed to the horrible abuses that you get addicted to it in a way. It's a sick thing. It's called the Stockholm syndrome, and this is what abusers do to their victims to try to keep you trapped. And that's what was starting to happen to me, is I was feeling like this man, because I saw some really weird demonic sides to him, where it's almost like he was possessed on drugs or something, where he was acting really like somebody like a savage, okay, like somebody who would attack me at any given. That's how I was starting to feel, because when you anger these people and you find out and trigger them, you don't know what's going to happen. And this person is like an undiagnosed psychopath or sociopath, in my opinion, and very narcissistic. The most narcissistic man I've ever known in my life, I would say, was this man. The most manipulative, controlling, narcissistic, self-absorbed person I've ever met. And I have met, and I have been with my share of men. But I tell you, you will be in shock at how self-absorbed and nasty they get whenever they don't get their way. It's just like a little mama's boy, what the fuck kind of weird situation, there's just something toxic about it. And you're like, it's not me, it's you, okay? I'm not your therapist. I'm not your fucking nurse. I'm not your fucking cocksucker. I'm tired of being treated like a fucking doormat. And he would insist till I kept fucking letting him come back into my life, even after the discard, even after everything. He kept coming back to the point that I'd let him back into my goddamn house. And I'm like, look, if you want to fucking be with me, let's go to a goddamn hotel. It's too hot in my house. So he gives me that goddamn fan to insult me, this fucking fan, this. And then so the other day, I go to some fucking motel, right, that he goes to in downtown a lot. And, it's just like he just expects, he's real ill-mannered. He can be so savage and filthy in his behaviors. And before that, though, we went to eat. This was several days ago. We went to eat at a Pizza Hut. And we actually went and saw, we had ordered a pizza. And so he's like, well, do you want to go get it to go or go eat it in there? I'm like, let's just get it to go. But he's like, no, it's cooler in here. So we sat in there and I ate a piece of pizza. Okay, that's the first time in the whole over a year that I've known this man that we've been out like that, besides a fucking hotel or the very first time I met him at that Mi Tierra restaurant. That's the first time we've ever been inside any kind of an establishment like that, okay? So that was bizarre because it was like we were the only people in there, and then a couple people showed up. A UPS man came in there, and he like wearing his brown uniform, okay? He was in there on his phone. There's another woman fucking walking around on her fucking cell phone the whole time. You know, it was very strange. And it was just like, I didn't want to be. I felt he started, and there's just something about this man. You know, when you're being lied to or when somebody's lying to you, you can just sense it. You can feel that there's something off. And then he kept touching me, like he kept holding. It's like he was all touchy-feely with me in public. I'm like, wow, you're being kind of affectionate with me. I don't understand. This is weird. You know, what's gotten into you, okay? Because normally, I mean, these people are just fucking weird. And then he, so we leave after that and go to the Quinta Inn in downtown. And so whatever, we're there watching TV for a while, and then okay, it comes to the time, and we have a conversation about something. And something comes up about kickapoo Indians. I don't know how this happened, but we started talking about Indians, and the topic of, I was talking about the curse of Canaan. I was talking about indigenous people as just different things, and then the topic of, I was talking about Eustace Mullins' book, The Curse of Canaan, because it's fascinating to know all this stuff and blood type and whatnot. I like to talk about things like that, and usually it pisses people off because it's a little bit above their level sometimes, or they don't want to talk about things like this because they don't want to talk about it. They just rather talk about something like fucking sports or sitcoms or some shit like that. So I was trying to have an intellectual conversation with him, and it's kind of like getting nowhere because he doesn't like to have, all he wants, just can't, he can't hold, he's got such bad ADD that he can't even hold a conversation without, it's like, he's so focused on sex and things like that he can't, or getting his needs met, that he can't even have it's like, it gets really frustrating because it's like you can't even have a conversation without, it's like, can we ever just like be in each other's presence without anything having to happen physical? It's like, what a shame that you can't have that kind of relationship with somebody, that the whole fucking thing revolves around them having to get something. It's like, this sucks. This is not me. I think I'm gonna be asexual from now on, or be with somebody who at least knows how to fucking reciprocate and treat me well and respect me and appreciate me, instead of you just fucking treat me like a fucking doormat, and make it, yeah, okay, it got old, and I kept letting him back in even after the discard and shit. And like I said, that they've been with other women. And oh, by the way, the night before I'd been out on a date with a man anyway. Because I'm realizing I'm done. I had put in enough effort, enough energy, dedicated, loyal to this man, not going out with any other men. Now I'm done. I even though I've been on a dating site, as this man was as well, I have no idea how many women he's been with since he's been involved. God only knows. Men, women, whatever. I don't even want to know. I just know that he was lying to me. And whatever he does now, I don't give a shit. Not my problem. No, I don't care. Because obviously these types of people never want to form a real bond or relationship. They just want everything to be temporary because they're always looking for something better. I was like the side bitch or whatever you want to call it. I was never anybody of any value or importance to him because he was always comparing me to other women who had money and status, and I didn't have that, so I was not good enough. And I quite frankly don't give a shit because there's other men out there who probably would appreciate me and respect me for who I am and not for who I'm not. Who cares? It's what's over is over, and I'm able to see my mistakes and my errors and that whole thing, and realize that, it was not all me. I played a role by allowing somebody to use me like a doormat, but clearly I'm not going to be somebody's emotional punching bag and therapist anymore. I'm not going to do that. It's exhausting, mentally, physically exhausting, and I'm not going to do that anymore for anybody ever again. Never. But anyway, I had gone out on a date the night before with a man, and we had he actually knows how to have a conversation. He wasn't all trying to touch me and feel. We went to a restaurant. We had an interesting conversation. We had a good time, and that was it. And then I took him home, and I left, and that was it. But I'm just saying, there are other men out there. I don't have to limit myself to just being with somebody who doesn't even respect me, or doesn't, plays mind games with me. I don't have to do that anymore, and I will not do that anymore. And I'm glad that I finally was able to say, you know what, Lindsay, go out and do something, have fun, you deserve it. And I did, and I'm glad that I did, after limiting myself for that long to somebody who didn't even appreciate me at all. Why do that? And that's my own fault right there, to limit myself to men who are not deserving of my time, energy, or space, and who violate my boundaries. But let me talk about what happened at the fucking hotel. So, once again, here I have to talk about this because this is part of this gang stalking, narcissistic, communal narcissistic shit where, clearly there's an agenda that they have with you. These people are working for some shady criminal ring or human trial. There's got to be something, and there's something weird that they don't want you to know, but all the little telltale signs are there, like all these red flag things. That every time, for example, we've gone to these fucking motels at La Quinta Inn, guess what happens? Usually, except the last time it didn't happen, but the times before that, somebody puts a pizza menu in the door, right? And so this time, it was Adam's Pizzeria that they stuck through the door. I've never heard of this one before. But anyway, this is what somebody put it in the door of the room, whatever room number it was, I don't know. Okay, I'm like, once again, so that's supposed to trigger me into thinking about Pizzagate, and then I start thinking like, and I've made comments before, every time this happens, when they put a pizza menu in the door like that, I'm thinking, I'll say something like, I know that we're under surveillance in here, they're watching us, okay? And I see that, I feel it, I can sense it. I'm like, the TVs are watching us, there's obviously surveillance in this room, somebody's filming this. And this guy obviously fucking knows what's going on, he's in on it, 100% aware of it, and somehow probably trying to exploit me for something that I did not agree to, which really fucking makes me mad too, because I didn't sign in onto that, and it's a insult, okay? And I don't know who the fuck this man works for besides his job at the department store, but if he's involved with the fucking porno industry and crap like that, and using me and doing shit, filming, he better fucking tell me, because I will, that's illegal. I did not consent to that. I didn't sign a contract saying you can film me and I'm a porn. No. So if he's doing that, somehow making money with that, and if I find out that he is, you're going to have a fucking lawsuit against you, sir. If I find out that that's what you're doing, you're going to fucking pay, because I did not sign on to that. I don't know what the fuck he thinks I am, but if that's the case, and if he has something to do with some kind of a weird filming shit, or some kind of a crap with that fucking hotel where they're filming people without consent, you better fucking let me know. Or I will find out. And you're going to find out the hard way that you don't fuck around with me with that shit. Because I've already been down that goddamn road before with the fucking perverted Jew man years ago in San Antonio and Austin. And haunts me to this fucking day. And they know that. And I'm so fucking humiliated by that whole thing that you have no idea how angry it makes me when men do that to women and exploit them in that kind of way. Because it happens all the time. And they put it on some goddamn fucking dark web or some shit like that and make money off of these fucking perverts. And there's a lot of them out there. It's a lot of them out there that do this to people. And I have to wonder these things. I'm not saying that that's what's going on, but I have to wonder because this is all done by design as a targeted individual to get me angry, to trigger me into wondering what the fuck is going on. You know, who's behind this, and you know what's going on, who's filming this, what's going on. Okay, that's not just a fucking coincidence. That doesn't just happen randomly. This pizza shit, Pizzagate, pizza menus at the La Quinta Inn. No. It's all done clearly to get me angry. And so then we're talking at some point where I have a conversation with him about somehow kickapoo, and I told him how I went to Camp Canacomo, this camp in Missouri, when I was a kid, and for a few summers, and I was a kickapoo. Like you had to be, they make you draw when you get there. You're either part of one Indian tribe or the other. And kickapoo is an Texas Indian tribe, Native American tribe, from what I learned. And I remember I drew kickapoo at that camp, Canacomo, I think it was called, in Branson, Missouri, that I went to as a child with my friend Burgess Moore. And we had a little yellow T-shirt that said kickapoo on it, or yellow and white. I'm not, yeah, it's all for a camp for little girls. Okay, these are like religious Christian camps. And I went to that one. I went to Camp Mystic for years as a kid. Talk about being fucking brainwashed with Bible stuff every day. Yeah. And competitive, forced to compete and all this shit. I was like, I had my fun times, but it was all about indoctrination and grooming at a young age that I went through that as a child. Years of that, like 8 years of those kinds of camps like that every summer for a month as a kid. At least 7 or 8 years of that shit. Anyway, I was a kickapoo. There were Kiowa, or that was Camp Mystic. I don't remember. Was it at Camp Mystic? Camp Mystic, I was a Tonkawa. The Camp Mystic is over there in Kerrville, Hunt, whatever. But in Branson, Missouri, at Canacomo, I was a kickapoo. I don't remember what other tribe there was. The two tribes of that. It was Kickapoo and Kiowa, or whatever the fuck. I don't know, but I just remember I was a kickapoo and I wore yellow and white. So or somehow that kickapoo fucking topic comes up. Very briefly, we're talking about that. And then, when we're leaving, by the time we leave that place at like 11 something, it's kind of late. Guess what is parked right next to, and I should have taken a fucking picture of this. I should have taken a photo of it. I kid you not, there was a white van parked right next to his car on the passenger side, parked. A white van that said Kickapoo Tribe of Texas or something, Department of Transportation, Kickapoo Tribe, with the symbol of the Kickapoo Indian tribe. Yeah, and it was a white van. And as we're leaving the room, I noticed this man with long hair, kind of dark brown, kind of long hair, walks by really fast. Turning around the corner of the hotel room. This guy who's probably, whatever, Hispanic or Native American, Indian, whatever. He had long hair, dark hair, like blackish brown hair, and he's walking really fast, right as we're opening the door. And then the Kickapoo Indian, Native American Kickapoo van parked with the symbol right there, parked right next to his car. And he drives a Ford Fusion Center. Oh, get it? So, and we're right by the fucking police station, and then a fire station thing. Oh God. It's just all so weird, right? And no, I'm crazy. I'm just delusional. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't give me any credibility, right? I'm just a yammering, blabbering psychopath, according to, as a target individual. But no, this stuff is real. Okay, this is the kind of brainwashing shit that they put a targeted person through when you're exposing them and exposing their entire operation. So I'm like, holy shit, kickapoo, and he saw it too. I was like, yeah, oh, that's just a coincidence, right? Yeah, because they're fucking surveilling everything we're doing in that motel. I've told him over and over again that we're under surveillance, and he doesn't believe me. I'm like, do you think I'm fucking stupid, sir? Hello? And you work for these people as well. Whatever the fuck you work, what agency, alphabet agency you work with. I hate people who lie to me. I can't stand that shit because I see through the fucking shit from a mile away. So then we get back here, and as soon as we're pulling up, okay, oh, I meant to say as we're leaving to go to that, to leave, when he comes to pick me up, I noticed this woman crawling out the fucking window of that house. It's abandoned next door now. I don't really see anybody, but I guess whatever the fuck goes on there. She's crawling out the fucking window. She's leaving as soon as we're leaving. He's on the porch fucking around on his phone, and she's leaving out the window to say I'm watching the whole thing. This woman going out the fucking window of that house while he's on his phone doing some shit, right? Coordinating something probably for the gang stalking street theater. And so I noticed that she's got a little kitten on her shoulders, right? And she's wearing whatever. She's got a tattoo, a kitten on her shoulder. I'm like, oh, how cute, look at this, look at the street theater, and he's all acting like he doesn't see it, and it's right, it's like he's acting like they act like they know each other. Once again, one of these fucking scenarios. And so she's sitting there fucking around with the locks, trying to lock the gate for a good 10 minutes while he's sitting there fucking around on his phone, right on my porch. And then we get out to his car, and they're just kind of like acting like they don't know each other, but they clearly made eye contact and they know each other, or something weird about that whole thing. It was like all so coordinated the way that happened. And this is just what they do. And then when we get back that night, when he's taking me back home, there's a woman walking down the street, another fucking streetwalker girl, some kind of girl who's an agent, some fucking undercover cop or some goddamn government agent, whatever the fuck you want to call him, clearly working for the goddamn police, trying to get me to react like a fucking snitch, prostitute, whatever, walking down the street, trying to get me to react and trying to get his attention. And he's all looking at her, this Mexican woman or Hispanic woman with blonde hair, probably dyed blonde hair, walking down the street, acting like all, like trying to get it provocative. Okay, so that's just an example of the shit that goes on in my life whenever this guy is around me. These kinds of weird things with prostitute-type women, Pizzagate shit, pizza menus. And by the way, it said we haven't had a pizza party in a long time, have we, is what he had said, because he's the one who kept wanting to get pizza. So this guy is clearly involved with this shit. It's so obvious that he knows all, it's like, and I had told him about Pizzagate. I had told him about this Jerry Epstein and all that shit. So, whoever the fuck he is and whoever he works for, he's doing some shady crap that I just don't even want. I'm just gotten to the point where I don't even want to know what you do. I don't want to know what you do besides your job. If you even really do that, I just feel so fucking utterly disgusted that you've been lying to me and exploiting me, and I've had enough because I feel sick. I just feel really sick. And then they have the audacity to text you, the typical template text. Oh, baby, thank you. I had a good time, and you always please me, and with the fucking smiley face. So that's just, I had to talk about this fucked up, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm just documenting it for my own documents because this is just so screwed up, this kind of stuff. It's like, you laugh or you just, what do you do? It is what it is.